Good evening and welcome to your Tuesday, September 23, 2025 edition of the Evening News. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for joining us. Let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Phase 2 of Silica City to include condos, townhouses for diaspora. Guyana urges coordinated international action to end Israeli occupation of Palestinian territories. Hot dog vendor robbed by men posing as Ministry of Finance employees. Police alarmed by reluctant witnesses and out-of-court settlements. Government to engage countries over travel advisories against Guyana. And businessman charged remanded for trafficking Cuban national. Now for the news in detail. As works progress on the Silica City project along the Sioux-Cycle-Linden Highway, the government is gearing up to launch Phase 2 of the development, which will focus on the diaspora. Here are the details from Davina Samaru.
Currently, the project team is doing the design in terms to prepare for the infrastructure work. And so that Phase 2 will target the diaspora. A lot of the persons from the diaspora have been expressing interest. They want to return. Of course, they want a particular type of area they're looking for. And so here's an opportunity that we'll be able to engage. So the design and the construction to take place there will be different from what we have here. These are individual houses. Those will target more the condo type or townhouses type of design.
Minister of Housing Colin Crowell speaking with reporters on Sunday about Phase 2 of the Silica City project. Silica City will be Guyana's first modern, sustainable city and is part of the PPPC's government climate change mitigation initiatives under the Low Carbon Development Strategy 2030. The government has set aside some 3,800 acres of land for the new city with approximately 15,000 houses to be constructed in various phases. Phase 1 is currently ongoing with 110 homes under construction. On Sunday, Minister Crowell and newly minted minister within the Ministry of Housing, Vanessa Ben, conducted a site visit to inspect the works. Minister Crowell underscored the importance of delivering quality works and, in this regard, announced that the ministry's monitoring capacity will be strengthened.
It's also about monitoring because, we've been receiving a lot of feedback about from beneficiaries in terms of the construction, the work that has been done. And so we also want to ensure that the quality is part of what we're delivering on, and to be able to reach our target. So we're currently looking at the restructuring and how we'll be able to fulfill that mandate. Over the next few weeks, we'll be putting this into an action sheet. Certainly, as I said, we'll be strengthening that aspect of the project department because monitoring is very important. And we don't want when the house is complete, then you have the beneficiaries complaining about the quality. This is something we should be picking up very early.
The first 110 young professional houses that are under construction at Phase 1 of Silica City comprise of 4 designs, with prices ranging between $27 million and $35 million. With 7 contractors working, the houses are currently at various stages of completion, and according to the minister, allocations have already begun and beneficiaries will be able to sign their agreements of sale soon. Reporting for the Evening News, Davina Samaru.
We are now joined by Trishel Sobers, who reports that Guyana has once again taken a firm stance on the question of Palestine, with Foreign Minister Hugh Todd calling for urgent coordinated international action to end what he described as Israel's illegal occupation of Palestinian territories.
Speaking during a high-level meeting at the United Nations, Foreign Affairs Minister Hugh Todd aligned Guyana with the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and reiterated the country's long-standing support for the two-state solution. In his address, Todd condemned what he termed the protracted Israeli aggression against Palestine, stressing that the ongoing war in Gaza has inflicted immeasurable suffering on Palestinians. The minister pointed out that famine in Gaza unfolded before the eyes of the international community, yet 192 UN member states failed to stop it. He argued that the international system must now adapt the same collective resolve that helped dismantle apartheid in South Africa to bring an end to Israel's occupation.
Guyana calls on the member states of the United Nations to ensure that their engagements with the State of Israel do not in any way contribute to prolonging the war in Gaza and the Israeli oppression of the Palestinian people. It took a collective effort to dismantle the system of apartheid in South Africa, and Guyana firmly believes that an equally strong and organized international response is needed to ensure the end of the occupation of the Palestinian territory. I must underscore the importance of recognition of the State of Palestine by all UN member states as a pivotal part of forcing an end to the Israeli occupation.
Todd underscored that recognition of the State of Palestine by all UN members would be a pivotal step towards strengthening international pressure and securing a lasting peace. Recalling the advisory opinion of the International Court of Justice more than a year ago, which declared Israel's occupation of Palestinian territory illegal, Todd noted that Israel has not complied with the UN General Assembly's demand to end its occupation by September 18, 2025. Instead, he said actions on the ground have further entrenched the occupation and undermined the two-state solution.
The General Assembly later demanded that Israel end its occupation within a year. That is by the 18th of September 2025. That date has now passed without compliance on Israel's part. On the contrary, we have instead witnessed a series of developments that only entrench the occupation further and destroy the two-state solution. Guyana calls on Israel to respect the Charter of the United Nations, to abide by the relevant resolutions of the General Assembly, the Security Council, and other organs of the United Nations, to cease its contempt of international law, and to commit to true peace in the Middle East.
Minister Todd reaffirmed Guyana's call for a ceasefire in Gaza, the release of hostages and Palestinian detainees, and full humanitarian access. He insisted that Israel must end policies and practices that erode prospects for peace. Just last week, Guyana had voiced deep disappointment at the failure of the United Nations Security Council UNSC to adopt a resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza after a veto by one of its permanent members blocked the move, despite overwhelming support from the rest of the council. On Thursday last, the United States once again vetoed a UN resolution demanding an immediate, unconditional, and permanent ceasefire in the Gaza Strip, following a vote in the Security Council. The negative vote was cast as the 15-member council held its 10,000th meeting against the backdrop of famine spreading in the besieged enclave and an ongoing Israeli offensive to take full control in Gaza City. The draft also demanded the release of hostages held by Hamas and for Israel to lift all restrictions on the entry of humanitarian aid and ensure that it is safely distributed to the population, in particular by UN agencies and partners. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
Let's now tell you that Andrea Singh, a hot dog vendor from Hoosdierin Public Road, Essequibo Coast, was robbed on Monday of 4 gold rings, a gold band, 1.5 million Guyana dollars, and US $2,410 by 2 masked men posing as Ministry of Finance employees. Around 13 hours 30, Singh was sitting in a hammock with her 1-year-old child while her grandmother was in the kitchen. The suspects approached the gate claiming they were checking for pensioners. When Singh confirmed one lived there, they asked to see her grandmother's identification card. Once inside, the men pulled a gun, restrained Singh and her grandmother, and took the jewelry. They then forced Singh into her bedroom, where she handed over the cash. Following the robbery, Singh raised an alarm. Acting on a tip, Anti-Crime Patrol found a 39-year-old laborer hiding nearby with a haversack containing 700,000 Guyana dollars, US $1,570, 230 euros, and 584 grams of cannabis. He admitted to the robbery. A second suspect from number 76 Village, Quarantine Berbice, was arrested with Guyana 291,000, US $20, and a toy gun. 2 of the stolen rings were recovered from an abandoned house, along with another haversack containing US $820. Both men remain in custody as investigations continue. Here is Trishelle Sobers once again, this time to report that Tourism, Industry and Commerce Minister Susan Rodriguez has pledged to urgently examine the travel advisories issued by several countries discouraging visits to Guyana, saying the reasons behind them are not always clear.
Currently, the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia have advisories in place for Guyana. Back in May, the US and Canada issued updated travel advisories for Guyana, warning their citizens to exercise caution due to high levels of violent crime and ongoing tension between Guyana and Venezuela. In a statement released by the U.S. Department of State's Bureau of Consular Affairs, travelers were urged to, and I quote, reconsider travel to Guyana due to crime, end quote. The advisory cited frequent incidents of violent crime, including murder and armed robbery, noting that such attacks are particularly common at night. The statement also highlighted the limited resources available to local law enforcement to respond effectively to serious incidents. Speaking during a meeting with the executive team of the Tourism and Hospitality Association of Guyana, Minister Rodriguez said direct engagement with these countries will be part of her strategy to address the issue regarding travel advisories and safeguard the tourism sector's growth. The minister explained that she intends to work closely with the Home Affairs Ministry and the security sector to ensure that visitors feel safe and that the image of Destination Guyana is protected.
We need to work very closely together, both my ministry and the security sector, to ensure that when we promote Destination Guyana, that it is safe, that our sites are protected, and that people are safe to walk down the streets. This will also include engagement, like you mentioned, with those countries that have issued travel advisory. I think we need to get to the bottom of some of the reasons for these travel advisories. But that's something I have to examine as to why that happens and how we can address these issues.
At the same time, Rodriguez emphasized the need to expand regional and international airlift, particularly to southern destinations. She highlighted Brazil as a major market and pointed to Avianca's new Colombia Guyana service as a positive development.
We do have to ensure that the Caribbean market or the CARICOM market is more accessible. That's something that we've been talking about, in my opinion, for too long. So this has to be addressed to open up more Caribbean markets. And we see how the travel and tourism increases, even if it's a one stop. Like when British Airlines started operating here, now suddenly many Guyanese have seen St. Lucia because it's now one of the stops on the way to the United Kingdom.
Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
Newly minted minister within the Ministry of Housing, Vanessa Ben, has pledged to expand on the achievements of her predecessors by strengthening partnerships and sustaining progress in the housing sector, whilst also aiming to include integrating green infrastructure and biodiversity protection into ongoing projects. Here is Michael Henry with the details.
Minister within the Ministry of Housing, Vanessa Ben, has revealed that her focus is on building upon the achievements of her predecessors by strengthening partnerships and sustaining progress in the housing sector, while also integrating green infrastructure and biodiversity protection into ongoing projects. She made these remarks during a recent interview on Beyond the Title.
So I think first and foremost, the Ministry of Housing, then the Ministry of Housing and Water has done exceptional work. They would have had a target of 50,000 house lots in the first term of the current government, and they surpassed that. When we first heard of it as citizens, we thought, that seems a little, quite a significant target.
Due to her background in natural resources, she also highlighted that it is important to her to ensure the protection of Guyana's biodiversity while focusing on infrastructure.
because of my background in the environment and natural resources and so on, it is my intention as well to see how we can integrate the aspects more of looking at how we have green infrastructure, how we're mindful of protecting our biodiversity, how do we integrate these kinds of things. Because, for instance, you have the young professionals housing scheme. So young professionals meaning, young people who are their working lives, their careers, starting, in the process of starting families and so on. And how we not only think of house lots and the provision of these house lots and having enough and more to meet current needs, but how at the same time we integrate play fields, we ensure that there's space for children to climb trees and those kinds of things. Because Guyana has impressive climate credentials. We're blessed with wonderful natural resources. And the intention is for that to be translated beyond the forest and beyond where perhaps we live on the coast, and for us to bring that in. So to have that kind of ensuring that the cultural aspects are integrated, the natural environment is integrated into that.
The new minister also explained that while some may wonder about her connection to politics, she is the youngest sister of former Home Affairs Minister Robeson Ben and comes from a family deeply rooted in public service. Growing up in that environment, she said, instilled in her and her siblings a commitment to service and to improving the livelihoods of others. Michael Henry, The Evening News.
Coming up, police alarmed by reluctant witnesses and out-of-court settlements, and a businessman charged remanded for trafficking Cuban national. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Granny! What are you doing on the right of way? Like you're saying let the sunshine stretch your legs. Sunshine? Look, forget I asked. You know you're not supposed to be on the right of way, Granny. But I ain't digging, building, burning, or planting. No horsing wrong, no horse riding, or nothing for doing horses. But sunshine? What? You and sunshine get out the right of way. Sunshine, let me glad. Good.
Mom, did you tell him that Danny went to pick up KFC? No, wait a minute.
Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger.
Business owners, it's time to level up with SylviesOnline.com. Shopping with us is a breeze. Browse online and plan your purchase. Check real-time stock availability. Enjoy expert in-store assistance. Whether you're on-site or in the office, shop at SylviesOnline.com. Visit SylviesOnline.com today and make your next big upgrade easy. SylviesOnline.com, your partner in productivity.
Welcome back. back. You're watching the evening news. Senior police officers are sounding the alarm over a growing threat to justice. Reluctant witnesses, disappearing victims, and settlements outside court are allowing criminals to slip through the cracks. Lawanda McAllister has the details.
During a recent Police and Youth Program, Assistant Commissioner Kali Parshram, Region 4C, Dion Moore, Region 7, and Curly Simon, Region 10, spoke of the hurdles which are creating a dangerous cycle of crime that threatens communities nationwide.
In terms of our prosecution, a lot of persons will say it depends solely on the police because how they conduct the investigations. And as recent, there were some deliberations on social media in a particular incident. The thing is, the police is just the person responsible for the investigation. And in the magistrates or the High Court, it solely depends on what you have in black and white or via technology to present in court.
In Region 4C, Parshram described a worrying pattern of cases collapsing due to witness negligence.
The thing is, what I would have observed in Regional Division 4C is that we would have seen over the past few months, and in fact, or it could go back to 2 years, an increased number of matters being dismissed due to the negligence of witnesses. One, witnesses are not appearing in court. And two, some victims are now going to court to settle their matters. We would have seen matters as serious as robberies now being settled in court, which is not something that used to be.
He warned that this trend releases offenders back into the same communities, increasing the likelihood of repeat crimes. To strengthen prosecutions, technology is increasingly being developed. Parshram revealed that 70 security cameras have already been installed in targeted neighborhoods. In Region 10, Commander Simon highlighted the reluctance of eyewitnesses to cooperate.
You find that persons, witnesses, eyewitnesses to crime, are very reluctant to come forward and to put their story in statement form so that could form part of the investigation, so that you could have one successful investigation and lead into a prosecution of any matter. And regardless of how you try sometimes, that it's very difficult to get persons to come forward.
In Region 7, Moore highlighted another obstacle, that is to say, disappearing witnesses. Despite these challenges, Moore reported high conviction rates, crediting the use of mandatory video interviews.
With the video interviews, accused cannot divert and make excuses. It's plain, it's there, the judges can see and they can make the decisions. So it's more of a two-way arrangement.
The police commanders are urging the public to play an active role in ensuring justice is served. Lawanda McAllister for the Evening News.
49-year-old Alvin Parag, a businessman of Diamond East Bank Demerara and of Albertown, Georgetown, was on Tuesday charged and remanded to prison on a trafficking in person charge when he appeared at the Diamond Magistrates Court. Parag was arrested on September 19, 2025 for allegedly trafficking a female 31-year-old Cuban national, which reportedly occurred between March 29 and June 7, 2025 at Diamond East Bank Demerara. During his court appearance before Senior Magistrate Judy Latchman, he pled not guilty to the charge and was remanded to prison after the prosecution objected to bail. He is expected to make his next court appearance on October 6, 2025. 92 persons, mostly females, are now equipped with the necessary skills to add to the service industry after completing courses in cosmetology and advanced courses in information technology. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael has that story.
The courses were conducted through the humanitarian mission Guyana Inc., HMG, a non-profit organization of Port Morant and Region 6. Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa, who delivered the feature address at Saturday's graduation ceremony, pointed out that it was not just the completion of a program, but rather the beginning of a new journey.
Some of you would have worked with brushes and scissors, some with frosting and fondants, other with codes and computers. And all of you work, I want to say, and will work with precision, passion, and pride. That will be the hallmark of the way going forward. Let's be honest, all of you who are graduating here today will contribute not only for our country, but for the world to be a better, brighter, and more beautiful place for each and every one of us.
Mustafa added that the government recognizes the importance of education and has been placing lots of emphasis on it, while pointing out that since taking office 5 years ago, the government has increased the education budget from $50 billion to $175 billion.
That's the testament to the government, the importance government is placing on our education sector.
The minister urged the graduates to impart their knowledge to others, while adding that as the world moves towards automation and artificial intelligence, the human touch and creativity matters more than ever.
A computer cannot style hair with soul. It cannot decorate a cake with love. It cannot print intricate design on a single fingernail or match the perfect foundation shade to bring out someone's natural glow. And even in IT, it is a human being who imagines, repairs, and supports the system we all rely on. Those are the importance of the disciplines and the various areas that you would have learned in your courses just now.
To date, 6,800 persons have received training through the mission, many of which trainees are women, single parents, or persons who face socio-economic hardship. In addition to skills training, HMG provides broader community support, donations to victims of fires or domestic violence, tutoring, mentoring, grants, and even startup support for graduates who wish to become entrepreneurs. Overall, it aims to break the cycle of poverty in Guyana by equipping persons with practical, marketable skills, nurturing self-reliance, and offering opportunities that extend beyond relief to transformation. Meanwhile, educator Dr. Mark Light called on the graduates to utilize the opportunities that are presented to them.
You have the foundation that is necessary to launch out in your society, in your own space, starting something that will go beyond your expectation. And we heard the testimonies here that many persons, when they started, you didn't expect that you're going to get to the place where you are. So think about the opportunities you've had, and also think about what you can do with the skill you have gained. So let's talk about going beyond the economic benefits. Recognize that education fosters critical thinking, creativity, and innovation.
For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
With the brand new implementation of Ride Along GY's bicycle rental and riding school, Tourism Minister Suzanne Rodriguez marked her first public engagement by pledging strong support for community-based tourism, highlighting the venture as a model of innovation, sustainability, and the kind of authentic experience that will shape Destination Guyana. Here are the details from Michael Henry.
Tourism, Industry and Commerce Minister Suzanne Rodriguez has signaled her intention to place strong emphasis on expanding the range of tourism experiences in Guyana, a move she says will not only build the country's reputation as a destination, but also ensure small and innovative businesses have a steady customer base to thrive. She made this announcement during the launch of Ride Along Guyana's bicycle rental and riding school at the Georgetown Botanical Gardens on Sunday.
This is how we ensure repeat visitors and build the reputation of Destination Guyana. It is also how we will support small businesses and innovative businesses like Ride Along GY to ensure that they have a constant customer base in which they can provide services. Of course, their businesses will be profitable and they will be encouraged to expand and to come up with new ideas on how we can improve the experiences that we provide to our visitors here to Guyana. Going forward, I intend to place strong emphasis on developing the range of tourism experiences available in our country.
Meanwhile, she highlighted that this project links directly with the government's tourism beautification goals for Georgetown.
I know a lot of times when visitors come, they may arrive in Region 4, but they quickly hop on another plane ride or a boat ride and go into our hinterland areas where they get to experience some more ecotourism. But we need to attract visitors here to Georgetown. It's our capital city, and all of the countries around the world, if your first stop is the capital city and you want to see what the capital city is, what it has to offer, and you want to experience that. And so that is something that we're going to be working on to ensure that people can come and have an itinerary that is specific to Georgetown, our capital city.
Ride Along GY is a community-based tourism initiative that has consistently demonstrated innovation in Guyana's tourism sector. The company first gained attention with the Georgetown Bicycle Tour in 2021, later expanding to Batica with support from a tourism product development grant. Its newest venture, the Bicycle Rental and Riding School, combines recreation with sustainability, health, and family engagement, offering both locals and visitors a unique way to explore the country. It is on that note that Minister Suzanne Rodriguez emphasized that Guyana's tourism sector extends far beyond hotels, encompassing a wide range of experiences, including tours, entertainment, cultural encounters, and ways for visitors to engage with local communities. She stressed that whether tourists come for leisure, business, or both, they should have opportunities to explore the country's natural beauty.
We must always remind ourselves that the tourism ecosystem is not only about hotels. Tourism is much broader. It encompasses experiences, tours, entertainment, cultural encounters, and even the ways in which visitors move around and interact with our communities. Whether our visitors come to Guyana for leisure, for business, or for a combination of both, they must be able to engage with the richness of our country. Our framework must offer opportunities for them to explore our natural beauty, participate in recreational activities, and enjoy authentic site visits. Just as importantly, and this is something that I would like to bring to the sector, these experiences must be consistent, predictable, affordable, accessible, and of a high standard.
Michael Henry, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic at 3 hours 55 on Wednesday, September 24, 2025 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is scheduled to be closed to vehicular traffic at 5 hours 20 on Wednesday, September 24, 2025, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
From cricket pitch to cabinet, Stephen Jacobs' new chapter, and a new sponsor on board Pee-wee 2025 football tournament. This and more coming up in this evening's Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp.
It's Cricket Carnival time and MacCorp is knocking prices out of the park. Get the powerful Cat 320 GX for just 30 million, the SEM 655 D-Wheel loader at 17.4 million, or the SEM 636 D-Wheel loader for only 13.8 million. Each machine comes with free fuel warranty registration, 2 years warranty and a customer value agreement for the first 500 hours. Don't wait. Register your interest now at MacCorpCat.com or call us today on 703-8618. MacCorp, let's build Guyana together.
Premier. Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe.
On the job, you know how it goes. 1 minute, everything's going right, and the next, something goes wrong. Don't worry. Premier Insurance will make things right again. For all risks insurance, call 223-0840 or visit premierinsurance.ui. Fuel your success. Premier insurance coverage for less.
Granny! What are you doing on the right of way? Like you're saying let the sunshine stretch your legs. Sunshine? Look, forget I ask. You know you're not supposed to be on the right of way, Granny. But I am digging, building, burning or planting. No horsing wrong, no horse riding or nothing for doing horses. But sunshine? What? You and sunshine get off the right of way. Sunshine, let me glad. Good.
Mom, did you tell him that Danny went to pick up KFC?
No, wait a minute. Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger.
In today's tough driving conditions, every engine faces three powerful enemies: engine heat, pollutants, and frequent short trips. Each factor is a direct cause of engine sludge, a buildup of dirt that can block vital oilways. This triple threat demands triple protection. Castrol GTX's Triple Protect Power is engineered to fight these three main causes of engine sludge.